For more on this, we can cross now to Ukraine and speak to our correspondent, Emmanuelle Chaze. So, Emmanuelle, it's been another night without power. I hope you are keeping warm where you are. What more can you tell us about these attacks?
Well, indeed, this is the second large-scale attack of the week here against Ukraine and against more particularly its energy infrastructure. Here in Kharkiv, there are still hundreds of residential buildings, including mine, that are deprived of electricity and of heating, critically so as temperatures are still ice cold here. So all across the country in the early hours, we had dozens of drones, missiles, crossing the regions and targeting and damaging mostly substations and transmission lines of an energy grid that has already been battered by previous strikes in the past few weeks. Concretely, it means that for people here, there is no heat, no electricity, and that's for tens of thousands of people, not just here in Kharkiv, but also in Kyiv, in the capital, which has been strongly impacted by this strike and by former strikes in terms of the capacity to produce energy for civilians. So the civilian infrastructure continues to be targeted by Russia, and that just as President Zelensky was sharing that the US delegation has said it would ask again Russia to de-escalate, especially its strikes against the energy infrastructure. Russia said it would consider it, but so far on the ground, we are very far from seeing any will of Russia to do so.
Now, Emmanuelle, these attacks have come after Starlink was disconnected, cutting the Russians off from using it. Do you think the ferocity of these attacks had something to do with that?
Well, this is such attacks already happened before the disconnection of Starlink terminals and of Starlink satellites for the Russian side. What the Ukrainian army has been reporting so far is that since the Starlink satellites have been disconnected for the Russian army, there is more chaos in terms of communication, and the Russian troop reportedly is not able to coordinate its actions on the front line. Now, in the rear, if we can, for example, talk about Kharkiv as the rear, even if we are 20 kilometers away only from the front line and 24 kilometers away only from Russia, the difference is not felt between this attack and the previous large-scale attack during the night from February 2nd to February 3rd. This is the second largest attack on energy infrastructure for this week only, and the energy grid has already been extensively damaged, which translates here into a very harsh reality for tens of thousands of people who live as we speak without electricity, without heat in the dead of winter.
Emmanuelle, thank you very much for keeping us updated on this developing story. That's Emmanuelle Chaze reporting there from Ukraine.